Good afternoon. My name is Clarence Jones, and I'm here with Ms. Ross. She's an environmental science teacher here at Stockbridge High School, and I did my coaching observation on one of her classes. The observation took place on October the 9th. The subject that she teaches is environmental science, generally 9th through 12th grade, with a majority of 9th grade students. The time in this observation is 8:20 a.m. End time was 9:35 a.m. So yeah, I'm here, Ms. Ross, as I stated.
Hey, how are you?
All right, I'm great, fantastic. Yeah. So Ms. Ross, I came in your classroom on October the 9th and observed your class. And so my feedback form or my teacher observation form that I recorded, I looked at a total of 5 categories. Category 1 being planning and preparation. Category 2, classroom environment. Category 3, instructional and instructing delivery. Number 4, student engagement. And number 5, assessment and feedback.
Okay.
All right, so in terms of planning and preparation, I give you a check in terms of objective is clear, measurable, and aligned to the standards. In terms of lesson is well structured and appropriately paced. I gave you a check for that. It says activities are differentiated for diverse learners. I didn't really put anything for there because I didn't really see much need for differentiated activity for the lab that was done. My comments that I left, Ms. Ross provides standards, learning targets, and objectives for the day. Ms. Ross also made sure that the students were familiar with Tier 2 and Tier 3 vocabulary words. Ms. Ross also had a live lesson plan on the board to guide the lesson for the day, and it was present for all to see.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
In terms of classroom environment, I give you a check in conducive to learning. In ranging from low, medium, and high. Respectful rapport between teacher and students, I gave you a high in that area. In terms of low, medium, and high for classroom management is effective and routines are clear. Also gave you a high in that area as well. In my comments, the students were respectful and they were mindful of the space in the classroom, as there was not much space for moving around in the classroom. The students came in and began working on the Stockbridge Starter, which is a newly installed component to all teachers' lessons in the building. And so in a quick summation, it's a question of the Stockbridge Starter. It's a question that consists of a DOK 3 question or higher and pertains to some type of mathematics. So that was for classroom environment. For the next category, third category, instruction and delivery, in terms of low, medium, and high. In terms of low, medium, and high, instruction strategies were effective and varied. I gave you a medium in that area. Teacher uses high order questioning techniques. I didn't see that observed, but there were some questioning techniques, but they weren't higher order. I would say Tier 2 level. Explanations are clear and content is accurate. Gave you a check in that area. And then the last area, teacher models and provides guided practice. I gave you a check in that area. And my comments, Ms. Ross's Stockbridge Starter was close in lines of a DOK Level 2 question, being only of skill and concept. The topic they were working on did not have a math component, so it wasn't present. Ms. Ross explained and reviewed the lab in making the solar oven using the shoebox. It was explained that since the sun was not visible on this cloudy day, that the substitute for the sun would be a lamp that she used for her reptiles. Ms. Ross also went over some energy transformations regarding the process of the shoebox solar oven. The discussion required students to pull prior knowledge from physical science. And that was my comments on that section. All right, in terms of student engagement, in measurements of low, medium, and high, most students are cognitively engaged and participating. I gave you a high in that area. A check in the area that students are collaborating and engaged in academic talk, and a check in the area of cognitive lift, which meaning that the students were mainly doing majority of the thinking in the process. My comments, students were working in the groups of 2 or by themselves to reduce the high possibility of too many students being idle to a group. The task was to create s'mores using the shoebox solar oven. Students were tasked with deciding how to set up the shoebox with foil, clear wrap, and other materials. There were directions to guide them, but blatantly not verbatim to allow students room for potential misunderstandings and mistakes. And then finally, in the area of assessment and feedback, teacher frequently checks for understanding. I gave you a red in that area because I didn't see that. In terms of tier low, medium, and high, feedback was specific, timely, and actionable. I gave you a medium in that area. And then teacher adjusts instruction based on real-time data. I put not observed. My comments in terms of that, though Ms. Ross did not walk around the room, Ms. Ross did walk around the room, I apologize. Ms. Ross did walk around the room. There weren't any real opportunities to check for understanding within the lab. Students only asked questions regarding the post-lab checkout questions at the end of the lab. Ms. Ross started adding feedback as students were submitting assignments. The feedback lacked depth and did not offer students opportunity for corrective actions. And then just a final part in terms of summary and next steps. The areas of strength that I noticed were clear and definable lessons, great student rapport, and a positive learning environment. The areas of growth that I identified: higher order thinking, questioning, and effective and quality feedback. And then finally, the next steps agreed upon were using tools such as AI, Gemini, or any other AI to help structure more effective feedback and to help with higher order questions. And we stated that you will experiment with various AI platforms to determine features within AI capabilities. Are there any questions? No. All right, Ms. Ross, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst lesson you ever taught and 10 being the best, how would you rank that lesson?
I would rank that lesson a 6.5.
Okay. What pleased you about the lesson?
That the students enjoyed the lab and that they got the overall concept of what I was trying to convey.
Okay. What would you have to change to move the lesson closer to a 10?
Probably do a little bit more effective questioning.
Okay. What would you say your students would be doing differently if your class was a 10?
They will be able to answer the questions in a better way. The way they answer the questions now are very middle school, elementary, not high school level.
Okay. Tell me more what this would look like.
It would show better in their test scores.
Show better in test scores? Okay. Do you want that to be your goal?
Yes.
Okay. If you could hit that goal, would it really matter to you?
A little bit, it would.
Okay. What teaching strategy can you use to hit your goal?
Include more effective questioning, DOK 3s instead of 2s in the students' assignments and labs.
Okay. And so what are your next steps?
To use, possibly I will start putting into play the platform Gemini.
Okay. So using AI as well. Okay.
AI.
Thank you. Okay, so in terms of identifying a student-focused goal, what would you select as a hot topic of a student-focused goal?
I would most likely use the learning targets that was provided by my district. So, for example, when we were working on energy sources, there were a few learning targets under the standard SEV3B. Like, for example, I can explain the risks of the use of renewable and non-renewable energy sources. I can develop a claim about the risk and benefits of renewable and non-renewable energy sources. And I can gather data to support a claim about the risk and benefits of non-renewable and renewable energy sources.
And how do you think this lab tied into that?
I think The lab gave the students a visual aid of the benefits of renewable and non-renewable
Okay.
energy sources.
Okay. Okay, so for the last thing, what teaching tool or strategy do you think could be used to help you in reaching your goal?
So one teacher tool that I think would be good is the AI platform Gemini. I combed through it a little bit, and I see some of the things that it offers, like for example, creating DOK questions on a specific topic, vocabulary, crafting compelling hooks and openers for the students. I think those things will help my students get to their goal.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.